something is bad for you, then why do people keep taking it? Why not try some alternative that isn't bad for you? Weight gain, muscle cramps, muscle strains and pulls, stomach upset, diarrhea, dizziness, high blood pressure, liver dysfunction, and kidney damage are all side effects of creatine protein, according to the University of Maryland Medical Center from 2011 about creatine. That is a whole lot of side effects, and it's all coming from one source, creatine. So if you know the controversy between creatine or not, and even if you don't know, then you'll see why people should not be using this supplement, unless needed by a doctor's orders. There are people who believe that creatine is the best protein, and then there are that is the worst, and some that don't know about the subject. Since creatine in some occasions is said to be bad for your health, people then use whey protein or other protein supplements. We all want to stay in shape and have good health, but some need to look into the small details and facts about what they're putting into their body. Creatine pulls water into your muscle cells, which increases protein synthesis. Chad Kersick says from the University of Oklahoma, a physiological professor in 2012. If you are building water in your muscles and not actual muscle tissue, then that is not a good outcome to be a part of. Creatine, plain and simple, gives you extra energy into cells called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. All this energy makes it easier to do more reps to build muscle mass. And it is not an anabolic steroid and does not mimic testosterone. It is one of the most researched supplements in history, and there are still many things to find about it. Since it is not a steroid, it is naturally found in muscle, in red meat, and in fish, though at far lower levels than in the powders. Also, a combination of amino acids produced by the liver, kidney, and pancreas, but it is also lower levels. Too much creatine is bad for your health anyway, so take the recommended amount. It is too much is bad because there are also unknown risks, just like taking sugar, coffee, or protein, or fats. If taken at too much, can lead to health issues. Less creatine is provided to deliver results, so do not take more than needed. In my survey at O'Neill Public High Schools on November 25, 2013, I found some said that it is, if taken in recommended amounts, is healthy and beneficial. As Karen Springen easily said on August 21, 2012, about the myths and facts of creatine, that if you have more creatine phosphate, which you do if you take the creatine supplement, you can work out longer and do sets of, say, 8 reps instead of 6. It is for short duration exercises to help things like weightlifting. It will not help athletes with slow twitch muscle fibers used in marathon runners, but has shown to help fast twitch muscles fibers like swinging a bat. So if you are an endurance type athlete, there is really no reason to even take creatine in your supplement category. So now all the general theories and pros of creatine are put into your thoughts. Now through all the cons in the studies and facts. Nobody should put anything in their body without weighing the benefits and facts and effects of taking the risks first. In some studies, creatine has caused rhabdomyolysis, or a breakdown of skeletal muscle tissue, and sudden kidney failure was reported in one case involving an athlete, according to the University of Maryland Medical Center's article on creatine in 2013. Also, there have been anecdotal records of kidney damage, heart problems, muscle cramps, pulls, dehydration, and diarrhea, in addition to all other negative side effects. To back it up, it is shown that it does cause changes in dehydration among the people who take it, and studies show 5 to 7% of people experience stomach aches, diarrhea, or even both together. Taking this may stop the body from making its own natural storage of creatine itself. In my survey, some said such like, creatine is cheating, and people need to consider what they're putting into their body and be careful about it. Also, that you should be completely honest in all sports and should develop your body without taking anything. Gordon Purser, PhD, a professor of chemistry at the University of Tulsa, who has a personal opinion on creatine from 2013. As the creatine hydrates itself, it causes water to flow into the muscles. That extra water may increase the volume of the muscles, but it also makes them look rather mushy than defined. As he continues to say that, the real question is, will you maintain the strength of muscle mass, dry muscle mass, when you discontinue the use of creatine? The answer to that is yes, but only if you continue to lift and work out to maintain it. This shows that if you keep lifting, you will maintain, but that's the key to it. If you do not continue to lift, that means the water weight will begin to fall away and it will begin to diminish. It will not build muscle mass if you do not go to the gym and exercise training, because it needs you to do those activities. Creatine puts H2O or water into your muscles, as I've said, which causes weight gain and makes muscles look bigger. Once people initially take creatine in the first few days, they have dramatic weight gains because of all the water being put into their muscles. When all of this water builds up, it starts to question if it's real or if it's fake. My survey did show that some people would not choose to use creatine and that it is bad for your health concern. So if your opinion has changed or you have no point of interest on the subject at all, people take creatine for other reasons too. There are other ways of taking creatine in a good way, and that will not be a bad outcome to your body. Some of these I even agree with, and if it is recommended by a doctor because of you needing the creatine in your body. Creatine is a use and widespread among professional and amateur athletes. The International Olympic Committee, National Collegiate Athletic Association, or you may know the NCAA, allows creatine in professional sports, as proven by WebMD in their article about vitamins and supplements in 2013. The colleges are not permitted to sell it to the students, but the students have to buy it on their own to get it. This now makes it your choice to take the creatine, and it is not the college's fault if something happens. If you have high blood pressure or diabetes, you also should ask a doctor before using, because it may cause some problems after the original side effects. It also does not show strength or body composition in people over 60. This is because research has shown that creatine is most effective in high-intensity training and explosive activities. It is harder for older people to use that and make it work for them in these exercises. Sometimes, because of creatine being involved in meat and fish, as I have stated, vegetarians take creatine to get a daily dose of their usual missing out of the natural creatine. Bodybuilder says in the Myths and Truths about creatine in 2013 that the daily average for meats is enough to sustain you, to have a healthy balance of creatine, so there is no need to taking more than is needed. If you take it, the creatine becomes just plain water in your muscles. Creatine may show signs of results if you can get past all the bad side effects from taking it, and if the results would actually maintain and stay after usage is done, but sometimes they don't. As some use it for other things in life instead of building muscle mass, like vegetarians, people need to have a good reason to use this supplement. If they put bad things in their body, it may result, and usually does, in bad things happening to their body. To show you a way of looking at it, if someone takes a cookie, it will not benefit you as much as a carrot will. So good choices and bad choices affect our health and in our body. Just like my survey showed, as some people didn't know or didn't have much information about the subject, so now you have more and informed more about it. If you know that creatine is not a good way to increase muscle mass, then try to stay away from it. From all the side effects it has on your body, making it a not so great or even taking it in the first place. Instead, take more natural proteins without using creatine, or take nothing at all. This all goes back to showing that people need to quit using this creatine powder because it is bad for your health.